I like where you are with this right now. You're going into it. I like it. Yeah, I played it one. I don't. You're all good. What's that one? What does he call it? What's he called on?
What's it called?
Didn't he call it something different?
No, it's just all things you love.
It's all good.
I'm actually like, I did. I really did.
Which one did you like? Oh, Sophisticated Lit. Yes. You're gonna do it that okay. You know, people do it differently. That's why it's gonna be. I always have a dip on it, but if we can do it, we can do it. But it's let's do that one. different without that bass drum.
Test. Welcome everybody to the Meet the Candidates Mixer. My name is Jeff Lindor. I'm your host. I'm the founder and CEO of the Gentleman's Factory. It's a Gentleman's Factory in Brooklyn Commons, and we're gonna have a good time tonight. So we have a number of candidates here mixing and mingling, and make sure that you all have a conversation with them. Many of them are going to be addressing the crowd shortly. But let's have a good time. Let's mix and mingle. We made it out of 2020. So this is summer 2021. So let's have a good time, everybody. Again, all right. So my name is Jeff Lindor. I'm your host tonight. And let's have a good time. Shout out to the band. Shout out to the band. Shout out to the band. Oh, man. All right. Let's have a good time, everybody. Let's do it. Shout out to Robert Cornegie, council member and Brooklyn Borough President candidate. Shout out to Robert Cornegie. Robert Cornegie's in the house. Also shout out to Michelle Cabrera, candidate for New York City Comptroller. Michelle Cabrera is also in the house. Super shout out to Brandon Gibson, CEO of Flume, internet provider in our community. So make sure you mix and mingle. Let's have a good time, everybody. So shortly we have Rishma Mattel that's going to be addressing the crowd. She is a candidate for New York City Comptroller. She's going to be addressing us in 2 minutes, everybody. Shout out, everybody. Hope everybody's having a good time. Hope everybody's having a good time. So again, my name is Jeff Lindor, founder and CEO of the Gentleman's Factory, and the purpose for tonight is twofold. Well, one, happy 2021, everybody! Oh, round of applause for the year 2021. You know, the beginning of 2021 was a little shady, you know what I mean? But now, you know, so now, you know, things are getting a little better, I think, right? But the whole purpose for tonight, if I could get everybody's attention, the whole purpose for tonight is to make sure that, one, primarily, everybody has a good time, right? And to talk to someone that you perhaps didn't know. But then, this Tuesday is one of the most consequential elections of our time and arguably in New York City's history. So tonight we have a number of candidates that are running for mayor, running for comptroller, running for public advocate, running for borough president, also running for city council, and running for judge that's going to be coming here tonight. And it's really important that as you're casting your ballot, that you get a better understanding of where they stand, what they do, who they are, because also it was a challenge because COVID occurred and we didn't really get a chance to press some of them in the street, you know what I mean, right? I'm not saying to press anyone here today, right? But what I am saying, though, is that it's really important that we give everyone an opportunity to address the crowd so that you can hear directly from them, right? So, and we're going to be having this periodically throughout the night. So after this speech here, we're going to go back to mixing and mingling, grab a drink, shout out to the bartender, shout out to the jazz band, and we're going to have a good time tonight, all right? Does everyone want to have a good time tonight? Because we always trapped in our apartments or in our homes for 2020, so make sure that we have a good time tonight, all right? So, without further ado, I want to call on a woman that is running for New York City Comptroller. Everyone give a round of applause for Reshma Patel, everyone. Oh, man. Nah, man, that was she, man. Come on, everybody. Please.
Well, thank you. And thank you guys for all giving me this opportunity to speak with you today. My name is Reshma Patel, and I'm running for New York City Comptroller. And I'm running for Comptroller because New York needs to do better. We have a budget that's almost $100 billion, yet so many of our community needs are not being funded. I believe that we need someone in this role who understands the city's finances and who has had the career experience to do the job. I have 20 years of experience working in public finance, where I helped fund infrastructure projects to the building of our schools, bridges, roads. And I spent 8 years as financial advisor to the city comptroller, and I helped generate millions of dollars of savings for our city during that time. But it takes more than just understanding finance for this job. You need to understand community needs. And I serve as vice chair of the budget committee on my community board. I've been chair of a community development corporation doing work in our communities, and I teach financial literacy and been working to help our communities get better. And I've seen, especially last year, but for many years, that we've had this systemic disinvestment in our communities, and we need to be doing better. And we have a lot of great policies in our city, but we fail in implementation, and that implementation should be coming from the comptroller's office, because the comptroller is supposed to hold our city accountable. And as we rebuild New York City, we have this opportunity to do things differently, to build from the bottom up and not the top down, which is what we've been doing for the last 40 years. And I hope you consider me for your vote. Thank you. Okay. No. Do you want to speak? I didn't want to. I don't want to keep people from their drinks.
There was a nigga with his Harley, there was a baller. There was a nigga with his Harley, there was a baller. There was a nigga with his Harley, there was a baller. There was a nigga with his Harley,
Shout out to Reynoso, candidate for Brooklyn Borough President.
Hello? I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a girl who legit. I was wish I had a rabbit in a hat with a bat. I wish I was like 6'9", so I could vividly know she could be don't know, even though she's pretty fine. You know I see her all the time, everywhere I go, and even in my dreams I can scheme a way to make her mine. Cause I know she's living back. Her friends are all and he plays ball, so how am I gonna compete with that? Cause when it comes to playing basketball, I'm always last to be and if some kids never put it off. So I just clean up on the wall, or slip in the bleachers with the rest of the girls who came to watch their damn ball. Valuable, I never understood. While the docs see the fly, I get the good rats. I tell them scats, skip the Bible. Got hit with bodies, get in a hospital for dark in that mess. I confess it's a shame when you look in the state of the size of a box and nobody knows your name. Glad I came to my senses like a quick. Got sick to my stomach, overcome it by parts. So being up together, right? So when I asked out, she said I wasn't a time. I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a girl who looked good. I would call her. I wish I had a rabbit in a hat with a bat. It's who I'm calling. I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a girl who looked good. I would call her. I wish I had a rabbit in a hat with a bat. It's who I'm calling. I wish I had a brand new car. So far I got this hatchback, and everywhere I go, I get laughed at. And when I get my car, I'm laid back. I got an 8-track and a spare tire in the backseat, but that's flat. And you wanna know what's really whack? See, I can't even get a date, so what you think of that? I heard that prom night with a good ratchet and a tight burrito. So I was in my car, I can't even get a hello. Well, so many people wanna use French on Sunday. One day I'm gonna have to get in my car and go. You know I take the 110 until the week goes by. Get off on French on, some of my homies keep alive. Cause it's hard to survive when you're living in a concrete jungles and these girls keep passing me by. She looks fine, she looks fine. I just say, my. I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a girl who looked good. I would call her. I wish I had a rabbit in a hat with a ball. Cause it's what I'm calling. I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a girl who looked good. I would call her. I wish I had a rabbit in a hat with a bat. 65 inch, 5 inch, 65 inch, 5 check it out. No millions, what you saying, yo?
Shout out to Kerry Edwards,
with the dilly, yo.
candidate
Yo,
for president.
it's my duty, yo.
I'm in the city, so it's going down. All the tables and berries, you like to go around. Pick up me up from the compound. As I pick up my sleeve, my top comes down. Both works and platinum, but it's time to triple up. Skip the double day tonight, we gotta triple up. Cheek triple up, get stay glittered up. My pink pinky ring, just big as skip class, I want a chick with skip swag, she want a man with cash. I got both.
All right, all right. So super looking forward to this tonight, right? So again, my name is Jeff Lindor, founder and CEO of the Gentleman's Factory, and everyone have a good time, and we're gonna get started with some of the other candidates because we have a lot of power in here tonight. So if we have a lot of power, we got a lot of money in here tonight, right? So my Cash App is, okay, no, right. But yeah, so again, right, you know, the purpose of tonight is, one, for everybody to have a good time. It's Friday night. We got a live band. It's good vibes. But then also, this Tuesday is a very consequential election in our city's history. And keep in mind, early voting is occurring right now, so y'all could just like vote. Well, the polls closed right now, right? You know, but you guys could vote tomorrow up until Sunday, right? Right. So up until Sunday, and also, okay. Shout out to the mic. Shout out to the mic. All right. Give me 14 seconds as I take care of this mic situation. All right. Don't count. Don't count. Okay. All right. Okay. Give me a second. Let's go. Okay. Take that one. Yeah, take the two of them. Oh, two of them. Testing. So again, you know, I told everybody that I was going to be back in 14 seconds, right? So again, I'm really looking forward to tonight for a number of reasons, because there's a lot of money in this room. There's a lot of deals happening. There's a lot of conversations happening, and that's what we do. Right? So I'm really looking forward to hearing more from some of the candidates. And with the program today, it's very fluid, right? So we want to make sure, if I could get everybody's attention real quick, right? So we want to make sure that everyone is having a good time, but then candidates, particularly those who are running for citywide office and borough-wide office, to address the audience here, because candidates, everyone here is a prime voter. So everybody here is voting on Tuesday, or they probably already voted. So do know that everyone in here is an influencer in their community. So you talking to them, you're talking to 1,000 people. And this is also being streamed on Brooklyn Commons Facebook page and also the Gentleman's Factory's Facebook page. So that means that you're speaking to 1 million people, because our followers are strong. You know what I'm saying, right? You know, I just want to throw that out there, right? You know, make sure that you follow us on Instagram real quick, right? You know, it's at Gentleman's Factory. But again, the whole purpose of tonight is for everyone to have a good time, and then for us to hear from the candidates. So right now, I want to call up onto the stage, the makeshift stage, the council member who represents this district here and who is running for Brooklyn Borough President. If everyone can give a round of applause for Mature Eugene, everybody!
Thank you so very much. Thank you very much. To all my brothers and sisters, good afternoon. Thank you very much. You know, I'm going to be very, very brief. My name is Matthew Eugene, and I'm the New York City Council member representing District 40, the district where you are in right now. And I want to say that it is an honor and a pleasure for me not to have the opportunity to serve this very wonderful, you know, dynamic, very vibrant and very diverse district, but also to be here, because this place is such a wonderful place. I want to take the opportunity also to welcome my colleagues in government and all my brothers and sisters who are running also, regardless of what they are running for. And I want to say, I see Carrie, he's laughing, welcome Carrie. And I saw Carnegie, Robert Carnegie, welcome. Antonio Reynoso, welcome. And all of you who are running, you know, we are partners, we are brothers and sisters, all the candidates, welcome to the 48th district. Don't worry about it, you got the visa to come. But what I expect from you, when I go to your district also, give me the visa to go there. Now, you know, I've been serving for about 14 years. I am blessed and fortunate to be the most senior member in the city council. This is a blessing. This is a blessing. All of us, we have so much to talk about. But let me tell you, I used to be a teacher myself. And I used to teach French literature, and Latin. That means education is very important for me. And I believe that as a city, as a nation, we have the moral obligation to provide the best education possible to our children. Because without education, there is no way in this world that me, Matthew Eugene, born and raised in Haiti, I could be standing before you today as the first Haitian American elected to government in New York State. It was possible, first of all, by the grace of God, but because of education. And I keep saying to all the parents, education is a tool, is a key that we should give to our children to open all the doors to all success. And I'm begging you, parents, do everything that you can do to provide the best education to your children. I've been saying to all my colleagues in government, of course, all of us, we are fighting for affordable housing, education, safety. We are all working for that. Talking about affordable housing, could you believe that in this district, there are people who are paying only $250 for their apartment? Do you believe that? $250 right there out on the street. $250. You know, it happened about 3-4 years ago, 4 years ago. And then those apartments belong to them. I made a deal with HPD when I was elected for those people to buy the apartment. And they bought the apartment for only $2,500. The $250 they are paying only for maintenance. I'm saying that if we in government, we work together, there is a way for us to create truly affordable housing for people, for those people who are working very hard and who cannot even pay the rent. And actually, if you go to Church Avenue and Bedford Avenue, there's a land close to Erasmus High School. That used to be PS 90, a Jewish school. Right now, we are going to create in that land, and I've been fighting for that for 5 to 6 years, to convince the mayor, HPD, and EDC to create truly affordable housing. Finally, the mayor accepts we are not going to give it to developers. We are not going to give it to developers. We are going to create truly affordable housing. But there's another thing that we are going to create. Vocational school for young people. We have, you can clap, because we have too many young people on the street doing negative things. If we can give them a vocation, a trade, some skill to go to the workforce, we will decrease the gun violence program. Let me conclude by saying that, because there's so much to say, but I don't want to take the time of my colleagues. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But let me conclude by saying that COVID-19 is a crisis that put the country on its knee, that put everything upside down. You know why? Because we were not prepared for that. I've been raising the issue, this concern for many years, asking the city, the state, and the federal government to be ready. Because every 10, 15 years, there's a crisis. Remember, we have SARS virus in 2002, MERS in 2012, Ebola, HIV. But the problem is, every time we got a break, we forget, we come by here, we don't get prepared. As a medical doctor myself, what I'm asking the city to do is to prepare for the next one. Because COVID-19 is not the first one, it is not going to be the last one, another one will come back anyway. I want to work together with my colleagues in government to make Brooklyn the most resilient and the most prepared borough in order for us to save lives in case of the next epidemic or pandemic. Again, I'm waiting for Brooklyn Borough President. Thank you so very much for this opportunity. God bless you. Remember, Matthew Eugene for Borough President. Thank you very much.
Shout out to Council Member and Brooklyn Borough President candidate Matthew Eugene, everybody. A fun fact about Matthew Eugene is that he's a martial artist, right? There was one time when I first met Matthew Eugene, and then he just like said, I mean, well, clearly I can't do it because my pants is a little tight, you know what I mean? But this, yeah, man, teach me, okay? Right, so again, a round of applause again for Matthew Eugene, everybody! So, we got some more candidates that's going to come up soon, but everyone, I also want everyone to give a round of applause for this band right here that's setting the tone and the vibe for tonight. So they're about to play a few selections, but as they play, what I want everyone to do, I want everyone to get a little bit uncomfortable, right? And what I mean by that is I want everybody to go around and introduce yourself to somebody that you don't know. And the reason why is because your network is your net worth. Let me say that again, everybody, right? How? Okay, no, let me stop. But it's really important. Why do I have two mics in my hand? All right. So it's really important that you have conversations with people, because I'll tell you this, when I first left graduate school, I got a job that paid me triple the salary that I had through a networking event. So it's important that you meet some folks here, because we got guys like Tawan Davis in here tonight, right? We got Brandon Gibson here tonight. We got Coach Ted Gustus here tonight. We got Julius Carranza here tonight, Samuel Pierre, and so many of and then we also got my brother David, who just became the CEO of Urban Assembly and who's also here tonight, right? So shout out to David, changing the world in public education. So make sure that you have conversations with everybody here, because it's important that we build together. All right? Let's build.
Nice to meet you, Jeff. Franklin told me to come over and meet you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
Hey, is this your joint?
Yeah.
Stop it. Stop it. Were you on Wall Street too?
No, so
Like a financial advisor?
no, policy advisor.
Policy advisor.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So you went from finances to policy.
Yep.
That's so cool. The reason I asked is my sister.
I hope everybody is having a good time. Shout out to the band, everybody. Oh, so right now, so again, this Tuesday will shape the trajectory of New York City's history, for good or for bad. But here's the thing, we are the ones who could shape that trajectory. So on Tuesday, it's up to you all to vote. But not only on Tuesday, because early voting, so you can vote tomorrow and on Sunday on Father's Day. Man, you know, don't vote on Father's Day though, man. Yo, shout out to the dads, man. You know, shout out to all the fathers here. All right. All right, try to vote on Father's Day. Really? No, right? Anyway, but if you want to vote on Father's Day, all right, cool. You know what I mean? But make sure that the Father's there too. Anyway, so I'm really excited about bringing up the next speaker. And remember, as you're casting your vote on Tuesday, you're voting for mayor, you're voting for comptroller, you're voting for public advocate, you're voting for city council, you're voting for borough president, you're also voting for the judges, right? And all of those matter because it shapes our community. So right now, I'm about to call up onto the stage Michelle Caruso Cabrera, who is running as a Democrat for New York City Comptroller. Everybody, round of applause for Michelle, everybody. Woo, you see the outfit? Oh, man, she's on brand because the outfit is there, and grab the flyer. It's on brand with the outfit. Yo, everyone, give a round of applause for Michelle's outfit, everybody. Oh, man, but here you go.
Jeff, thank you so much. Hey, everybody. Hello, Brooklyn. Good evening. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much. Love the work you're doing here. It's not just a club. You do all kinds of outreach. It's terrific. Thank you very much for everything you do and for doing this for the whole civic life of New York City. My name is Michelle Caruso Cabrera. I'm running for Comptroller of New York City. Bienvenido a todos los latinos y los afro-latinos que están aquí. Woo! I'm the only Latina on the ballot in this race. I want you to hear something weird that you're never going to believe. The city of New York has never elected a Latina or a Latino, for that matter, to any of the three citywide offices. Not mayor, not public advocate, not controller. ¿Cómo es eso? We're 1/3 of the population. I hope to break history. No, I'm going to make history. Woo! I have a bio like nobody else who's ever run for office for New York City. I am a former journalist. I was at CNBC for 21 years. I was the chief international correspondent, and I was one of the anchors there. What does that have to do with being the controller? So I spent decades following the money, asking hard questions about how it's being spent, and holding people accountable. That is what the controller is supposed to do. I covered financial crisis all over the world. What did I see over and over and over again? Those who can least afford to pay always end up paying the most because leaders always make the same mistakes. And I see that happening here, and we can't let it happen here. That is why I'm running. I learned income statements, balance sheets, and cash flows so clearly and so directly. Even though I don't have an accounting degree, I was invited to join the board of a financial services institution and sat on the audit committee. That's how well I know financial statements from my time. Because a lot of people ask me, what does a journalist know about being in office? If you cover City Hall, you interview politicians. If you cover crime, you interview, unfortunately, victims and police officers and sources and things like that. When you're a financial journalist, you're poring over financial statements. I know there's a lot of entrepreneurs in the crowd. You know what that means. That's what I did, and that's what I'll do. So let me ask you this following question. The budget in the last 8 years has gone from $72 billion to $92 billion, and next year it's going to be $98 billion. Does this city feel $20 billion a year better to you? Is it more affordable, even after COVID? Are your healthcare options better? Are the streets cleaner? Do you feel safer? You want to put the same people in charge again? You can vote for one of my opponents, the sitting elected officials that are running. I am an independent outsider. I am an independent Latina, not part of the political establishment. And all my life, it's very unfortunate. I know many people in this room know exactly how this feels. You've been the only, right? You were the only one in the room. You were the only this or that in the room. I've been the only Latina in the room for decades. And we all know what that means. We've all had to be twice as good and work 10 times as hard, right? And we've had to stand up for ourselves and have no fear. I can stand up to anyone. Whoever the next mayor is, I will hold them accountable. And I would love to have your vote. My name is Michelle Caruso Cabrera, first name on the ballot. Please rank me number 1. Thank you so much.
Looking forward. I hope everybody's having a good time. Shout out again for Michelle Cabrera Caruso, everybody. All right, so we have a lot more candidates coming up. But in the interim, let's have a good time. We got the jazz band here. Did you see the yellow suspenders, right? Shout out to the yellow suspenders, everybody. Because the yellow suspenders matches the saxophone. No, he's not playing around, right? You know? So again, let's have a good time. Mix and mingle. Shout out to the Gentleman's Factory members. Gentlemen who are just changing the world. Oh, man. So we're going to have a good time tonight. Let's build. Shout out to 100 black men. The president here, Aldrin. Shout out to Aldrin, my brother right here. So let's continue building. And we're going to call up some candidates soon. But in the interim, I want everybody to just go around, grab a drink. It's Friday night. Let's have a good time. All right. Special shout out to Maya Wiley, who just walked into the building. Candidate for New York City Mayor. All right. Shout out to Farrah Lewis, my sister. Right? Council member Farrah Lewis, by the way, running for re-election. Shout out to Farrah Lewis. And also remember, there's ranked choice voting. And it's the first time in New York City's history. So with ranked choice voting, you're ranked your first choice, your second choice, your third choice, your fourth choice, and your fifth choice. So you rank your candidates, and it's important that we are participating in the democratic process. All right. Remember, grab a drink, mix and mingle. Shout out to Sean Burt. We see you, Sean.
There's no way for me to get in touch with them. There's no way for me to have
Shout out to Brooklyn Commons, the premier co-working space and business center, not only in Brooklyn, not only in New York City, but in the United States of America. Everybody's having a good time. Make sure you follow the Gentleman's Factory on Instagram, and it's at Gentleman's Factory. And if you're posting, make sure that you tag Brooklyn Commons and that you tag Gentleman's Factory so that the world could see the beautiful things that's happening here right now. Shout out to Alan Leroy, one of the masterminds of the Gentleman's Factory. There's a lot of things that we got in store, so we just getting started, everyone. Woo! So coming up next, feel like in the next 2 minutes, we have Councilmember Antonio Reynoso, who's going to be, he was running for Brooklyn Borough President. Reynoso is going to be touching the stage in a few minutes, right? So let's make sure you grab a drink, have a conversation with someone that you never met, take a picture, tag Gentleman's Factory on there, right? Follow us first, though. Follow us first. You gotta follow us first, right? Shout out to Farrah Lewis. Councilmember Farrah Lewis, that is.
So I think they, so Ron,
Special shout out to my brother, someone who I speak with almost every single day, Mr. Greg Smiley. And if you do not know Greg Smiley, you need to know Greg Smiley now, because this man can change your life. One of the top political strategists in the United States of America. He did campaigns, presidential campaigns, mayoral campaigns, city council campaigns, you name it. So there's a lot of power in this room tonight. So you want to make sure that you're connecting with folks, right? Shout out to Gentleman's Factory member Al Wright. Shout out to Al Wright, doing some powerful things in the music industry. Just getting started, everybody. We're just getting started. Joanne Bier is the head of growth of Brooklyn Commons. Doing a lot of powerful things here. Everybody, just make sure, I just want everybody to know there's some powerful people in here tonight. My brother Billy right here, powerful tech company, looking to raise his Series A round, trying to raise $15 million. He's closing the investment in November. So better come into the company now, because if not, you might lose out. So coming up to the stage, we are about to have council member and candidate running for Brooklyn Borough President. Brooklyn Borough President Antonio Reynoso. Everybody, round of applause for Reynoso.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm very sorry that I'm interrupting the jazz music. Let's give it up for the band very quickly. Give it up. Round of applause. Thank you all for being here. My name is Antonio Reynoso, and I'm a candidate running for Brooklyn Borough President, the greatest borough in all of New York City. Let's not get it twisted. All the mayoral candidates should have to say which borough is the best, just to make sure they know that it is Brooklyn. Maya, I'm looking at you. No reporters can write what she says, but still, I know Maya loves Brooklyn. But look, my name is Antonio Reynoso. I'm a son of Dominican immigrants that came here in the 1980s. My parents came to this country with nothing in their pocket. That means I was raised on welfare, food stamps, Section 8. If there was a government program that existed, my family had to take advantage of it just to give me a fair shot. It's why I'm standing here before you as a candidate for borough president and a city council member. I want to be able to use my experience to pay it forward. I want the next poor kid from Brooklyn to know that they also have a shot, that they can achieve their dreams. And we're going to be able to do that by building equity into our system. We have systems in the city of New York that are working exactly as they're designed to work. Systems that did not give us PPP loans when they came down from the federal government. Systems that are killing black women at 12 times the rate as any other women when they're having childbirth. Right? Systems that ignored us when we talk about proficiency for black and brown students are below 30% across Brooklyn. Those systems are doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing. And it's about time we have leaders that want to change the system. I want to talk about implementing something that is built on equity and justice for all of us. And that's the Brooklyn that I want to build. I want to build a Brooklyn where I'm spending my time and my resources in the places that need it. So I'm sorry to the places that are politically affluent or have more money. I'm not going to be there. I'm going to be in East New York. I'm going to be in Brownsville. I'm going to be in Coney Island. I'm going to be spending my time and money where the people need it. And now I want to end because I do want to be brief. Matthew Eugene, my brother. I do want to be brief, but I want to say this. For this race, we need to make sure that our values are present at the voting booth. Right now, a lot of people think that because of what I think was a failed effort by the mayor, that progressive politics is dead. And I say absolutely not. Because one guy couldn't manage a good vision doesn't mean that the next person can't. Can I get an amen, Maya? Amen. So I want to make sure that whoever is running for borough president, is running for city council, can build leverage against any mayor that is there so that we can build equity and start getting resources to where we need it, which are communities that look like ours. And I know there's another politician running for Brooklyn Borough President and is a little taller than I am, right over here. But I want everybody to aim high, but vote low, all right? And vote for Antonio Reynoso for Borough President. Peace and love. Brooklyn, baby.
Round of applause for Antonio Reynoso, everybody. So I hope everyone's having a good time. And make sure, again, the purpose of here tonight is for everybody to celebrate life, celebrate each other, grab a drink. This is good vibes. But then also, on the serious side, this Tuesday is very important because this Tuesday will shape the future of New York City. And keep in mind, if it's shaping New York City, it is shaping America. And if it's shaping America, it's shaping the world. So as a result, as you cast your ballot, ranked choice, by the way, so you make sure that you have your first candidate, your second candidate, your third candidate, your fourth candidate, and your fifth candidate. But on the ballot, it is candidates running for mayor, candidates running for New York City Comptroller, candidates running for public advocate, candidates running for city council, candidates running for borough president, candidates running for civic court judge and beyond. So this is very, very, very important. And we have a number of candidates in here tonight. And it's important that you mix and mingle and then you ask them certain questions. And we need to hold all of them accountable. So coming up to the stage, we have a candidate running for New York City mayor. And this candidate, powerful black woman, doing a lot of work in the community. And I have a master's in urban policy from the New School, and she was a professor at the New School, and she was also a part of the senior leadership at the New School. And it's really important that we hear from Maya Wiley here tonight. So I want everybody to give a round of applause for candidate for New York City mayor who can make history as the first black woman mayor of New York City. Round of applause, everybody. For Maya Wiley, everybody!
All right, nobody told me we were going to be speaking. I thought I was just coming to hang out with some beautiful people. But it is a pleasure to be here in my own neighborhood. It is a pleasure to be here with so many people I love and respect, including business owners who own businesses like the Culture Chest. Woo! And I do expect you all to go and spend your money at the Culture Chest because they got a baby coming and they got to pay for some baby shoes. And Antonio Reynoso, thank you so much. You've been an incredible leader in this city, as has Robert Cornegy and so many others. I'm not going to get myself in trouble. But I do want to just say something that I experienced on Monday when I went to vote. And it was a reminder about what called me into this race. I went to vote, and I had all these amazing people come out and rally to see me in and to make sure the news media saw that there were people who cared about the fact that I was running. And there were people I'd never met before, people who just showed up to hold up the signs and cheer. And after I came out of a very powerful experience going to vote, and it was powerful, it was historic, it was like nothing I ever expected, as the daughter of civil rights activists and the granddaughter of a man who worked as a mail clerk and put 6 children through college, that I could see my own name on a ballot. But when I came out, and after we had the press conference, and after I was walking away and some of the volunteers were asking for pictures, a woman, an immigrant woman, a black woman, stopped me after she hugged me, and as we were parting, she looked me in the eye, and she said, "I'm a mother too. My son is 16. He needs a future. Please, please." And she looked at me with that weight that only a mother carries when she fears whether her son will have one. And it was a powerful moment because it is exactly why I am running. Because we are always fearful about whether our children will actually have a future. And in fact, in too many instances, whether they will actually be able to draw another breath. And that is not going to happen when I am mayor. Because we do not let a generation get lost, not to trauma, not to gun violence, not to failed schools, and certainly not the failure to invest in our communities and our future. I am not going to spend tonight telling you all the plans I have for how I'm going to do that, because there are too many and it's boring. The important thing to know is we've got the money. We've got the dollars. The question is, do we have the determination? And will our communities for once and for all get the resources we deserve? And I will tell you they will when I am mayor. Thank you.
Round of applause for Maya Wiley, everybody! So remember, this Tuesday, this is my deep voice, by the way, right? You know, because, you know, trying to vibe with the music right here, right? So this Tuesday, it's election day. Yo, my voice is really deep. But make sure that you all vote this Tuesday, and it's really important because this Tuesday will shape the trajectory of our community. So I want everybody again to give a round of applause for Maya Wiley. Everybody, round of applause for Maya Wiley. So we have more candidates coming up soon, but in the meantime, grab a drink, talk to someone else that you may not know. We have guys like Ruby Durancy in the house tonight. We have guys like Marvin Johnson, founder and CEO of Dashable, in the house tonight. We have Tawan Davis in the house tonight. We got a lot of powerful men and women in the house tonight. So I want everybody to make sure that you have a good time and let's build. We also have New York City Council candidate Constantine Jean-Pierre in the house tonight. So we have a lot of talented individuals doing amazing things, building, changing the world. Round of applause again for Maya Wiley, everybody. We have Ray McGuire, who's on his right now. Shout out to Ray McGuire, who is on his way. He just sent me a text. He said, "Jeff, I'm on my way, brother." Right? So let's build, let's build, let's build. Shout out to Coach Gustus, mentoring hundreds and thousands of young men in our community. Oh man. So, you know, like I want to make sure that I want to make sure that everyone is mixing and mingling. There's a lot of powerful people in the room tonight, everyone included. We have young folks, we got more seasoned folks. We got middle-aged people like myself. Well, I mean, some people call me middle-aged, some people call me old. Shout out to 1986 babies. No one? 1986? All right. Shout out to Kenya, who is running for New York City Council in this area right here. Don't forget to vote this Tuesday. Shout out to Ray McGuire. Ray McGuire just walked into the building. Shout out to mayoral candidate Ray McGuire, everybody. Special shout out to Brandon Gibson, founder and CEO of Flume. And if you don't know Flume right now, Flume is about the Flume, and it's about the blow. And you better have a conversation with Brandon right now before Brandon get on a private jet, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Andre Richardson, one of the top political strategists in New York City, in the New York metro area. Shout out to my brother Andre Richardson, everybody. Make sure that you're mixing and mingling. There's a lot of power in this room tonight. There's a lot of power in this room tonight, everybody. Shout out to Alan Leroy. No, for sure. Let's build, everybody. Let's build. Shout out to the band who's rolling it down. Shout out to the band. These gentlemen are just killing it, creating the vibe. Make sure you grab a drink. Shout out to Joanne B. Air from Brooklyn Commons. You guys see how this big? Makes me want to sing, right? About to do a karaoke in here. So that I'm living. Oh, chill, 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 chill. So, coming up, I'm about to call in Joanne Beer, who oversees this great operation at Brooklyn Commons. And Joanne is going to share a few words about the great work that's happening here at Brooklyn Commons, introduce some members at Brooklyn Commons. Super special shout out to Obocho, young man who's changing the world. Future billionaire right here, Obocho, future billionaire. Matter of fact, I'm sorry, did I say a future billionaire? A future trillionaire, that's what I'm talking about right here, right? Make sure I, give me 15% of that though, you know what I'm saying, right? So right now, and then give a round of applause for the band, everybody. Give a round of applause for the band, everybody. So right now, I'm gonna call upon Joanne Beer, the operator, the head at Brooklyn Commons, and she's gonna share with you all about the great work that's happening here. And she's gonna introduce some of the members in here at Brooklyn Commons. So I want everybody to give a round of applause for Joanne Beer, everybody!
Wow. Thank you so much, Jeff. Thank you, guys. Give a round of applause for Jeff for doing such an amazing job. My name is Joanne Beer. As you guys know, I've been operating and managed Booking Commons for the past 5 years. Booking Commons is a woman minority-led co-working space right now. We had, just like everyone else, we had struggled just last year, and but thanks to our amazing member, we had made it through. I'm pretty much like a rich woman because I have amazing member who pulled us through to this crazy crisis last year. I just want to call out some of the most of the Booking Commons member. Please come behind me. Obocho, Levi, Jeff, Sam, anybody who's from Booking Commons, please come. For those of you who don't know, Booking Commons actually have 2 locations. We are located in North and Central Brooklyn. This location is 120,000 square footage. How many of you guys know that? We have over 300 small business and creator in the space. And between all of us, we collectively connect to we have over 1 million 1 million people that pass through the space every year. And then yes. to events like this, networking. We have weddings. We have amazing, all kind of event. And next year's is actually projected to be double, thanks to our amazing community that we have here. I just wanted to let you guys know we have members that range from 12 years old all the way to senior. One of our youngest members here is Abocho. He's 12 years old to be the future millionaire. Where's Abocho? We have Sharon. We have so many members. So I just want to, I could talk about Brooklyn Common member all day, but I just want to personally let them speak to you guys to know who's in the space. The space is amazing. And to be honest, like Jeff said, we are actually the number ones. Actually, we're not a co-working space. We are a hub right now. We are a hub with small business, the number one in North Brooklyn, thanks to our amazing members. So I'll let some of our members to introduce themselves. So now that you guys know that who's here, a lot of our members was very curious to kind of meet some of the candidates, to kind of know who they are, who's running. And now that you guys know the space, now that you guys know the face, hopefully this is not the last time, right? Sharon?
Thank you so much. My name is Sharon Taylor Smalls. I own Redeemed Creations Midwifery Services. It's in Suite 79 downstairs. Many of the candidates spoke to me. I've met, I haven't met personally, but I had the opportunity to hear Maya Wiley speak before, and what spoke to me about her story was that she delivered her children, two of her children, with midwives. So that spoke to me. And one thing that Antonio spoke to me today about in his speech was that he spoke about the inequities of birth in people of color. And that's something that's really important to me. My practice is a midwifery practice. The midwives offer care to women from 13 until 65 and over, and offer OBGYN care. And what I really what is really important to me is to listen to women and spend time with them, and to offer continuity of care. So I really love the thought of really caring and spending time with you. So that's really important. So thank you.
Thank you, Sharon.
Okay, my son is passing me the mic. All right. My name is Sasha Peters. This is my son, Abocho Peters. Abocho is a young CEO that started a company when he was 9 years old, this big. And he was very, very shy, and still shy. That's why I'm on the mic right now. He has a children's thrift store that he started because he wanted 8 toys from the movie Avengers Infinity War. And because I couldn't afford it, he decided to sell his clothes and shoes to buy the toys. And he got the toys and realized that there are other children out there that probably their parents can't afford toys either. So he decided to reach out to the community as an only child and make the community his family, and started a children's thrift store. So now, April 27, 2021, his business just made 3 years in business. He opened up a children's thrift store in Brooklyn Commons on his 11th birthday because he wanted to celebrate his birthday with his family, which is the community. So he has such a huge heart that 10% of the profits goes back into the community. He puts on free financial literacy workshops, as well as healthy food pantries, not your typical food pantries. He does healthy food pantries where he goes to the grocery store, handpicks healthy stuff to heal the immune system of the Black community, and he is very, very adamant about it. I told my son to get back to some other stuff, but he refuses to stop doing the food pantry. So I ask everybody that's here, follow him on social media. It's I Am Abocho. That's OBOCHO. My son at 12 years old is an advocate in an unbelievable way. And I have a feeling that he's going to make a mark on this world that is going to be a tsunami, an epic situation. His name is Obocho Peters. Okay, now he wants to speak. My name, Obocho, O-B-O-C-H-O, means I am love, and I want to spread my love with the community and the world. Thank you so much, everybody.
Josh, from our Bed-Stuy Bushwick location.
That's right. Hello, people. I will be very brief. My name is Joshua Brown. I have an office in the Brooklyn Commons Bed-Stuy location. I am a licensed real estate broker. I'm also a member of Bushwick Community 4. I'm the vice chairperson, and as the vice chair, I want to thank Joanne and Brooklyn Commons for being an integral part of the community, and I'm opening the dialogue for all candidates. Thank you so much.
Who else do we have? Do we have Johnny here from the art space? We have an amazing collective of mentors and creators in the space. I guess they're not here. So you guys continue to enjoy yourself. And next, thank you guys. And if you guys want more information, let the staff know about, they'll inform you guys about what Brooklyn Commons have to offer. Thank you for coming. Oh, there you go, Johnny.
Hey, everyone. I'm Johnny Sagan, a.k.a. Snowy Wilderness, from the only art gallery that's currently in Brooklyn Commons, which is called Ursa NYC. But our goal is to make this into an art gallery hub. So we want to use the power of the arts to really rebuild a post-COVID economy in District 40 here in Flatbush that empowers our young people to become entrepreneurs and join the arts as an industry that can really guide them into the future. So anybody who's interested in starting an art gallery here and adding to, the more corporate notion of entrepreneurialism that we've been handed down, should really speak to me and Joanne about your ideas. And I'm just here to invite you to come see the gallery and come down and see what we're doing. And then please introduce me to anybody who might be interested in that kind of work. Doing that kind of work here. We're having a monthly art mixer that's going to be meeting for the first time next Thursday. It's called Major Thursdays, and it's happening the last Thursday of every month. So, yeah, I think that, politics is competitive, but art is collaborative. So anyone who's interested in collaborating, please speak with me. Please speak with Joanne. And I just want to say to the Gentleman's Factory that you are an example of the type of creative business, the type of business that and community building that is possible through creativity and through the spiritual inspiration that art is all about cultivating. Jeff, this was an amazing event. I've met some wonderful people here, and I just want us to build on this energy creatively through the power of art. Politics is the art of the possible. So let's, really collaborate with each other if possible going forward here in Brooklyn. And yeah, I look forward to meeting any of you. So anyone who wants to discuss art at Brooklyn Commons, come see me now. Here's Joanne. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. So we could start, right? Thank you.
All right. Round of applause for Brooklyn Commons, everybody. Round of applause. Round of applause. Yeah, so again, this is good vibes. We're having a good time. There's a lot of powerful people here in the room, yourself included. So we have college students. We have high school students. We have future multi-gazillionaires like Obocho right here, right? And we have so many powerful people. So it's really important that we continue to build and that we have a really good time. All right, shout out to Ray McGuire. Shout out to Ray McGuire, everybody. All right, my man. So again, let's just have a good time. And then shout out to the Sax right here, who you're like, I'm gonna put them on the spot, for which, because when you got Suspenders looking like that. You know what I'm saying? Show us something with what you got on the sax real quick, man, my brother. All right. Shout out to the saxophone player right now, everybody. Shout out to Brian Benjamin, who also just walked into the building. Brian Benjamin just walked into the building. Harlem in the house. Harlem in the house. The Harlem is running for citywide office, running for New York City Controller. So make sure that we speak with Brian, and he's going to grab the mic very soon. But, you know, we just want to make sure that we know who's in the house tonight. All right. Someone who I also want to acknowledge is my big sister, a mentor of mine and so many others in our community, the county leader of Brooklyn, an assemblywoman, Rodney's Bishop, everybody! Rodney's. So we only have good vibes over here, so no one is going to mess up the vibe because this is a Friday night, and we got a jazz band here, and this is good vibes tonight, everybody. So let's go. If I could get my brother Kerry Edwards. My brother Kerry Edwards. So right now, coming up into the stage, and again, I want to reiterate the power of tonight. And hold on, give me 1 second.
I gotta help move him out. I gotta help move him out.
All right. So, shout out to Ray McGuire, everybody. All right. So there's so many great people in here tonight. We got Rodney's Bishop, Farrah Lewis, Ray McGuire, Kerry Edwards. So I want everybody to know that this election is very important, because in this election, it is shaping the future of New York City. And there's ranked choice voting. So as you vote, you're voting for mayor, you're voting for controller, you're voting for borough president, you're voting for city council, you're voting for judge, and our future is on the ballot tonight. So right now, I want to call up to the stage my good brother who's running for Brooklyn borough president. Is Brooklyn in the house tonight? Is Brooklyn in the house tonight? So we have my brother Kerry Edwards, who's running for Brooklyn Borough President. So I want everybody to give a round of applause for Kerry Edwards.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Do I got to do the Chuck Schumer shh? Oh, it actually worked. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kerry Edwards, and I'm running for Brooklyn Borough President. I'm a lifelong Brooklynite, born in Brooklyn Jewish Hospital, not too far from here. I'm a husband, father of 3. I have spent 20 plus years of my career in public service, starting out with Assemblyman Nick Perry in 1999. So in political years, I'm probably older than most of the candidates that are running. I'm the only candidate that has borough-wide experience. I worked for Elliot Spitzer and David Patterson, the first black governor of New York State, as their Brooklyn regional rep. I also handled health policy for the New York State Senate Democratic Conference, where I dealt with all of the health issues, the particular closures of hospitals, the medical redesign, and therefore that left me to my new job, my most recent job, as the first vice president of color in the history of Brookdale Hospital, as the vice president of external affairs. And that was the genesis for me wanting to run for office. Ladies and gentlemen, while you're talking and enjoying your time, there are union workers who are sleeping in shelters. Shh. Shh. Let me finish, because this is important. We're going to talk about affordability. We're going to talk about health access. But there are union workers who are right now sleeping in shelters because they cannot afford to live in this borough. 43% of our homeless population are people with jobs. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm asking you to listen to me real quick, because I'll be off soon. So I'm really running to bring balance back to the borough. I'm really running to talk about equality in healthcare, but more so to give people roofs over their heads. The borough president has domain over land use, community boards, but more importantly, it's a sounding board and advocate for needs of our community. And so when I ask you to research me, I ask you to research everyone that's running. But more importantly, this is a real time in our future. This is the first time in our city's history that we can have an entire black slate of elected officials running our city. And that's something that you really need to pay attention to. So I am asking to be your #1 choice, but I do want you to research me. I don't want you to just go in there haphazardly. But I do think this is a time that we do need everybody out on the 22nd. And I thank you for your time. Jeff, thank you for this opportunity today.
Everyone again, round of applause for Kerry Edwards, everybody! Oh man, so we got more candidates coming up. It's gonna be a good vibe. It's a good time. And I want to give a special shout out, a very special shout out to my wife of 10 years. We just celebrated 10 years 2 weeks ago. 2 children. She held me down. And then here's the thing. So I resigned from my job 5 years ago. I resigned. I left. I said, I'm out. I ain't get fired, right? You know, I'm overqualified for a lot of things. But I wanted to build community. And I said, I wanted to change the world. But before I did that, I had to check in. I had to say, Deborah, I'm leaving, I'm out. Right? Right? I said, Deborah, I want to change the world. And she said that she believed in me. And the rest is history. 5 years. And then check this out, right? Last year in COVID, and I don't even think I ever said this publicly, so don't record this, right? Last year during COVID, in March, the world stopped. And I'm the founder and CEO of the Gentleman's Factory. Shout out to the Gentleman's Factory. That's the clock tower right there. Right.
That's all for you guys.
And in that, when I resigned, so last year, the world stopped. And people were saying, oh, wow, like, is the Gentleman's Factory going to shut down? What's going to happen? And, you know, I'm like, wow, okay, you know what? I'm married with 2 children, right? So we got to figure things out. So then I remember when I was on a BJ's line, She was in the BJ's line getting tissue paper. Why were all of the toilet paper that we were getting at BJ's, right? Anyway, so then I get a call from a friend. A friend calls me and says, I got a job for you, paying you $350,000 a year. You down? So then I said, how much? He said $350,000 a year. You don't got to interview. We know who you are, etc. So then, you know, I'm thinking, look at all the great work that happened here at the Gentleman's Factory. Am I going to bail out on my community? So then I was thinking of, you know, like recalibrating life because, you know, like the world is shutting down. So then I remember I go to Deborah and then I said, such and such offer me this job, $350,000 a year, right? And I said, what do you think? She said, what do I think? No, absolutely not. Why would you do that, right? She's like, look at all that you built and you're going to get a job? No. And then once she said that, I felt so comfortable to build. So now Gentleman's Factory has expanded. We're digital now. We have members in 18 states and in 4 countries. We have a co-founder now, Alan Leroy. Shout out to Alan Leroy, who 25 years corporate experience, MBA, University of Michigan, Ross. Right? Right? Powerful background, could work anywhere in the world. So then I had a conversation with Alan, and he was advising me and telling me, Alan, come here, man, come on, man, right? You know. So I had a conversation with Alan, and Alan was advising me on a whole bunch of things, and then he's like, yo, man, listen, you know, like, what about digital strategy? I'm like, digital strategy? I have a master's in public policy. What are you talking about digital strategy, right? He's a tech guy. So then Alan said, yo, are you looking for investors? You know, yeah, like I'm trying to like park my money somewhere. I'm like, oh yeah, I am looking for investors, right? You know? So then not only did Alan invest it, but then Alan said, you know what? You're doing something really powerful here. Let me help you build this. And then Alan built the technology, and we're all over the country now. And we're just getting started. So shout out to Alan Leroy, everybody. Shout out to my beautiful wife, Deborah Patricia Olivier, right? Lindor, right? And I love you so much. And, you know, I just want to let everyone know that. So now we're about to get some more candidates up. But before we get the candidates up, I want you to just go around, look around the room so that you can see all of the power that is here, because there is so much power in this room, starting from the high school children, not even children, the high school scholars, right? To college, to graduates, to entrepreneurs, to working professionals. We're just getting started. So again, thank you everyone for coming out tonight. We got some more candidates coming up, but the whole purpose for tonight is twofold. One, so that you can learn about Brooklyn Commons and the Gentleman's Factory, and make sure that you follow us on Instagram, right? But then also so that you can vibe with each other, because we spent a year quarantined. But then also too, this Tuesday is a really powerful election, and it will literally change the trajectory of our community. All right? So how's everybody doing tonight? How's everybody doing tonight? How's everybody doing tonight? Let's bring up the energy. How's everybody doing tonight? Did you guys follow Gentleman's Factory on Instagram yet? Oh, man. So I'm about to call up Robert Cornegy. But before I mention Robert Cornegy and I go way back. Robert is a mentor of mine. I used to report to Robert about 12 years ago when we worked for the same organization. Robert was my boss. But one of the things that Robert saw in me was potential. And Robert invested in me intellectually. He helped me in so many different ways. And I've known Robert before the politics. And one thing that I can say about Robert is that he loves people and he loves our community. And Robert is running for Brooklyn Borough President. Round of applause, everybody. Robert is running for Brooklyn Borough President. And Robert, I can say, is someone who I appreciate daily. He's someone who I've known for over a decade. And he's also someone who's done a lot for our community. So without further ado, everyone, round of applause for Robert Cornegie, everybody!
Thank you, Jeff. So first of all, I want to say thank you to Joanne, Brooklyn Commons, for putting this together and having a collective where folks can actually get their visions off the ground, not on their kitchen table, not in their basements, but actually a space where they can get their ideas and vision off the ground. I want to give a special shout out to Gentleman's Factory, and I'm not just shouting them out because of what they do. I'm shouting it out because I'm a member. So a lot of people are going to say nice things, but the first thing you need to do is sign up and join and pay that membership fee. Membership has its privileges. So a lot of people have spoken about, oh, wait, before I go any further, I want to give a big shout out to the greatest fraternity known to man, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. Come on, man. Can I live? Where the bros at? Come on. But a lot has been spoken about the social justice plight of our community. And it's not mutually exclusive to demand reform and accountability in the police department while still having an expectation to be safe in our communities. We can walk and chew gum at the same time. So this narrative that if we hold the police accountable means that we will be unsafe and we will have a 200% increase in gun violence, which we are experiencing right now, is a fallacy. We can, and I do, and continue to demand both. But I want to bring you a message of not social justice, but economic justice. Many people don't know that in this recovery period, the federal government has invested and said they're going to pour trillions of dollars into our economy. Are we going to be at the table to receive that money is the question. So I chair the MWBE Commission at the New York City Council. I've worked with a lot of people in this room today to make sure that they had the resources for businesses to be successful. In my first 100 days as borough president, we have a $10 million fund set up for small businesses, not low interest and no interest loans, but actual grants. And this doesn't come from the government. This is my relationship to financial institutions who have committed this money, $1 million per institution. So the requirements that the government has given you before on the stimulus package that you could not access, we have a different requirement that's specifically for black and brown immigrant-owned businesses on commercial thoroughfares where there are no bids, no merchants association. That's me and you, who've come out of our kitchens and our basements to create businesses to employ the people who are most important to us, who 1/3 of statistically will not be able to return after the pandemic. So where other people got relief, we got no relief. My borough presidency focuses on our small businesses, our micro businesses. Currently, I have a Chamber on the Go program that I created that right now takes every service that SBS offers and brings it directly to the doorsteps of small businesses. That's access to capital and technical assistance. And it's not mutually exclusive. Like I said, I'm the prime sponsor on the Eric Garner chokehold bill, so I believe in reform and accountability. But I also believe in reform and accountability in our economic justice system. So we have to be prepared and be ready to receive these trillions of dollars that are coming down the pipeline. Characteristically, our businesses are focused on healthcare and vaccines and the virus, when we should be focusing on that, but we should also be preparing ourselves to be ready for this money that's coming down the pike so we can lift our communities out of poverty. When I talk to people, they don't want a break, they want opportunity. That's two different things. So my borough presidency is focusing on making sure that our black and brown businesses, our small businesses, our 10 and under, where the employee, the actually owners are employees, have an opportunity. So I have worked with the Gentleman's Factory, the Haitian American Chamber of Commerce, the Caribbean American Chamber of Commerce. I was the first to bring resources directly to those chambers of commerce, because before me, only the Brooklyn Chamber and the Bronx Chamber got money, but our local chambers of commerce, who were set up to deal directly with what we needed, couldn't get resources. So there's people in here that could testify to the fact that we brought resources to our community, to our chambers of commerce when they needed it. My borough presidency is based on lifting us out of poverty by giving us access to capital, by creating a pathway and an environment for us to provide for ourselves, us to do for ourselves through small business. It's doable. I will do it. Thank you for your support.
Round of applause for Robert Cornegy, everybody. So again, this Tuesday, make sure that you vote. You heard what Rob said. And here's the thing. Economic justice, well, social justice without economic justice is like one hand clapping. So we got to make sure that we vote and that we support what our values are. And yes, you can vote early. You can vote tomorrow. You can vote on Sunday, on Father's Day. I mean, you know, like if you want to vote on Father's Day.
That's a heck of a Father's Day gift.
Right. Right. But again, round of applause for my brother, Robert Cornegy, everybody. But the next gentleman that I'm going to bring up to the stage, this gentleman right here, so with this gentleman right here that I'm about to bring up to the stage, I got first introduced to Ray McGuire a couple of years ago. And this was before Ray was even thinking about running for mayor. All right. And when I met Ray, it was actually at the table with the NYPD. And Ray was there asking some very tough questions. And in this meeting right here, at the table, it was the police commissioner, it was the deputy commissioner of the NYPD, and every single commissioner and senior leadership in the New York City Police Department. And they were talking about bail reform, and then they were talking specifically about what are we going to be doing for communities of color. And this was not televised. There were no lights. Truth be told, I actually wanted to take a picture because, yo, the folks that I was in this room, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I didn't want to look out of place, right? You know? I should have took a picture, man, Ray, man, I should have took that picture, man. But not only that, it was the NYPD Foundation that was in this room, too. And Ray coordinated this meeting, and he wanted to have business leaders, black business leaders in the community to talk specifically about the community. And again, that was a couple of years ago. And there were so many other things that this gentleman has done, and he's not looking for the limelight because he, as he always says, has receipts, right? So Ray is a mentor of mine. Ray has connected me to so many other people, and Ray is someone who I would strongly recommend that you all take a really good look at as you're casting a ballot in this coming election, on Tuesday, or you can go tomorrow, or you can go to Father's Day, or on Tuesday. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, coming to the stage, Mr. Ray McGuire, everybody. Round of applause for Ray McGuire.
Thank you, Lindor. Thank you all. You know, when I decided to come here, when Jeff invited me, it was clear that I wouldn't have the right gear. You know, I don't have the pants that are too short. They're not too tight. I got a little room in my jacket here, just to show off that I've grown a little bit around the midsection, which is something that, you know, when you're on the campaign trail happens. But when I came here the first time, let me get my mark. When I came here the first time, you know, I was so moved by what I experienced. I'm equally as moved by what I'm experiencing here tonight. And that experience is an experience that is known by somebody who's dedicated his life to making certain that we have a future. And he has done it in a way that has not been advertised, but he's changed the lives fundamentally of those people in our community. And I have to acknowledge him. I think you all may or may not know him, but if you don't know him, let me introduce you to the coach. Coach, thank you for all that you've done. You know, I look at you and I look at the distance that we've traveled and all the investment that you've made. And I look at the Gentleman's Factory and I look at the future. And what compelled me to leave my day job on October the 15th is what the future holds for our community. When I came to New York City, as I've said on the campaign trail, I had three things. I had a great education based on my mother's sacrifices, my single mother's sacrifices. I had a lot of debt, and I had no money. And when I came into the world of finance, there were maybe one or two people who looked like me. And this is 4 decades ago in a world called corporate finance. And so I had to climb the ladder and knock down doors and knock down barriers. And when I did that, I did what the coach did and what Vernon Jordan and Franklin Thomas did for me, and that's extend the ladder. And so you have the next generation in the form of people like Jeff Lindor. And as I looked across what was taking place in the world, I saw the following. When it comes to what Robert Carnegie talked about with MWBEs, I look at this, and last year this city spent $22.5 billion. MWBEs got $1.9 billion, less than 5%. 8 out of the 10 MWBEs got 0. And so when we go advertise what we're going to do, we've been outside for so long that when they give us crumbs, they want us to feel full. I am not interested in the crumbs. Matter of fact, I ain't interested in the cake. I am interested only in us owning the bakeries. And so unless we get to that point, and unless we have leadership that understands the crisis that we're now in the midst of, yes, we have a crisis of safety and justice. In this borough, 37% of the shootings occur in this borough. Shootings are up 200 some odd percent. We got to deal with safety, and I want the police to protect me and not profile me. So we got to deal with justice. But if I got no economic justice, I got no social justice. And right now we're facing a $4+4+4 billion budget deficit, close to what they call a bankruptcy. And unless we get somebody in there who understands how to manage this, all the programs that are designed for black and brown boys and girls in this borough will no longer exist. If I look at where we are in the educational system, 7 to 8 out of 10 3rd through 8th grade black and brown boys and girls do not read at grade level. And who's outraged about that? And if we hit that deficit, if we hit that bankruptcy, who you think gonna take the hit? Black and brown boys and girls will take the hit. So I left my job to make certain that, yes, I want safety and justice, but I got to get the economy going. And what I call the greatest, most inclusive economic comeback in the history of New York City. 500,000 jobs, 50,000 jobs going to small businesses. It's called Go Big, Go Small, Go Forward. Small businesses, including the 1 out of 3 of the 240,000 that shut down and may not come back. And going forward is focused on those black and brown businesses. And, Coach, you remember what Maynard Jackson did down in Atlanta. I want to make certain that we modernize that, and the capital that gets to our communities is directly intended to get to our communities. I know how to do that. And why do I know how to do that? My word says be known by your deeds and not by your words. But you just look around. You heard of a guy named Robert Smith. You may have. I gave him his first job offer. You may have heard a guy named Robert Refkin, who about 3 weeks ago took his company public. I was one of his first investors. You know how much he took his company public for? $7.5 billion. You heard of New York Presbyterian Hospital. We built a hospital up there. New York Public Library made sure we got Wi-Fi hotspots to our kids who wouldn't otherwise have capital. You heard of Macro out there with Charles King. Judas and the Black Messiah, Just Mercy, there when he started. So if you look across the landscape of capital that we've gotten into the community, and this is capital we've gotten into the community as a private public servant, I intend to take that same track record and make certain that all of us who have the right ideas can get the capital. I know how to put the capital into the communities and make certain that those who don't have the education, that we train them vocationally. So my plan is to make certain that in this economic prosperity that we can create, that black and brown men and women businesses get included. That's going forward, including technology and including people who are directly involved in the Gentleman's Factory. It ain't about me. This is about we, which is why I get so encouraged by seeing you all. 4 decades later, to see this group of people involved who understand financial literacy and the power of capital is nothing short of miraculous. So the reason I'm doing this is because the future that is you all. When I called my then 94, now 95-year mother and told her I quit my job, she thought I'd lost my mind. But what I said to her, and what some of you all who know the word says, when the foundation is crumbling, what will the righteous do? We got to step up, which is why I decided to leave my day job and get on the front line to lead this city forward. A lot of respect for you because you know what capital is about. You came in as a co-founder. It is all about capital. It's all about getting capital into your pockets. It costs us $26,000 a year to educate a child in New York City unsuccessfully. It costs us $446,000 a year to keep an inmate at Rikers Island unsuccessfully. If I take that $446,000 and give $50,000 to 8 to 9 entrepreneurs, $50,000, give them mentorship, teach them how to do a business plan, just think about the impact that that's going to have on our community. And let me be clear, ain't no cavalry coming. All the BS they telling you about what they going to do, it ain't happened up to this point, and it ain't going to happen. And so, as he said before, the reason I'm doing this and the reason that you should rank me 1 is not because of the things I'm talking about, it's because of the things I've done. And as they say in the Gentleman's Factory, I got receipts. So thank you all for having me. Rank Ray 1.
Round of applause again for Ray McGuire, everybody! Remember, Election Day is on Tuesday, and you can vote tomorrow, right? And on Father's Day, right? You know, no, not on Monday, but on Tuesday. So again, round of applause for Ray McGuire, everybody! And coming up to the stage, we want to bring Brian Benjamin up into this stage right here. And now Brian Benjamin has a very powerful background. And then here's the thing about the New York City Comptroller's race. And many of us may not know what the Comptroller does, but the Comptroller controls the money. And the black community particularly has been excluded a lot out of the economic mobility of our community. And it is very important that we have representation when it comes to our finances. So this brother has a lot of experience. Google him, because he also has receipts. So without further ado, everyone round of applause for Brian Benjamin for New York City Comptroller, everybody. Thank you so much, Jeff. I want to thank, is Brooklyn in the house? I'm almost scared to ask if Harlem's in the house. Anyway, Harlem's not in the house. Well, I'm in the house and I represent Harlem. Harlem's in the house. First of all, it's a pleasure to be here. I'm going to be very brief. Shh. I'll be very brief because the comptroller manages over $250 billion, so I don't have to tell you that much. My name is Brian Benjamin. I'm a state senator. I represent Harlem, East Harlem, and the Upper West Side. I'm presently the chair of the Budget and Revenue Committee in the state, which means when we decided the state budget, I was a key part of making sure that that happened in a way that we didn't have to cut services and key issues for our community. I'm running for New York City Comptroller. I'm a son of the Caribbean. Any Caribbeans in the house? My mother's from Guyana. My dad is from Jamaica. So just so y'all know, we coming hard and we're coming correct. But grew up in New York City, born in Harlem, grew up in Brooklyn and Queens, went to Brown University, Harvard Business School like Ray McGuire did. And I want to say real quick on Ray McGuire. Shh, real quick. Ray, I need you 1 more second. When I first got to Morgan Stanley after Harvard Business School, Ray McGuire was one of the people who looked out because I was a young up-and-coming brother. So when he says he did it, I actually can give you part of those receipts because I remember you talking to me and advising me. And one of the things that we learned in that conversation was that I'm not the best banker. I need to be a public servant. You know, listen, I can be I had the skills to be an investment banker. And then I also did investment management, but it wasn't my heart. It wasn't what I loved. What I loved was being in the community, doing public service. And so I said, you know what? Let me take a step back. The money was hard to leave. But I knew where my passion was, that will work out for me in the end. So I left Morgan Stanley. I went to join a party of mine. We built affordable housing in New York and New Jersey for the formerly homeless, for low-income people all over the city. And then in 2017, I became a state senator. Ran on two key things. No, thank you. Because we need more of us. Jeff gave a great story. Because we need more of us who are unafraid to step out and believe in ourselves. Believe in what we can do. Believe in our passions. And so I stepped out on faith. And in 2017, I became a state senator. And I've been focusing on two issues. One is ending mass incarceration as we know it. We over-incarcerate way beyond the need for public safety. And focusing on economic development, making sure that our black businesses get their fair share of contracts. Less than 2% of the contracts in the city of New York. Meanwhile, us blacks are going to determine who wins the mayoral race, the comptroller's race, the borough president's race. We are determining the politics, but the money's being determined by somebody else. It doesn't make any sense. So a couple of key points I want to do as comptroller. Number one, the $250 billion, less than 2% of that managed by black investment managers. We have talented people who can manage the money and they don't have the opportunity to do so. As comptroller, I'm going to fix that. We're going to raise our numbers of investment managers to match our percent of the population. Secondly, we need to invest in affordable home ownership. Let me tell y'all something. Unless you got big jobs, it is hard to own in New York City. It is hard to own in New York City. We got people out here paying $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month in rent. That should be a mortgage on a condo. We can do it. In the 1970s, when we almost went bankrupt, the comptroller invested in affordable home ownership all over this city. On 8th Avenue in Harlem, I mean, you don't know it because y'all live in Brooklyn, but on 8th Avenue in Harlem, there was a lot of affordable home ownership. We need to do that all over the city where black people live. Also, we absolutely need to, as comptroller, Stop registering contracts when black people are not getting contracts in the city of New York. It's got to end. The comptroller registers the contracts and makes sure people get paid. No one's getting paid if we don't have diversity, equity, and who's getting the contracts. That is my commitment to you as the next city comptroller. And then let me lastly say, because we were talking about public safety, which is an important issue. When we talk about public safety, it's not just law enforcement, folks. It's mental health services. We need to make sure that the trauma of COVID, I don't know, listen, I'm a state senator. So many people suffered during COVID, lost family members, never saw them, die. We got some real trauma in our communities. We need mental health services. We need workforce development. We need affordable housing. That is a part of public safety. So that's what I'm going to look to do. I'm going to audit the NYPD and make sure that they are part of a broader strategy of public safety. I want us to prevent crime and at the same time intervene. I have a wife and a daughter. I do not need anyone to be hurt out here. But we got to understand more police is not just the answer. We need to invest in our community. So with that being said, Jeff, thank you for letting me come out here. I want to thank you for let me say that, listen, ranked choice voting, folks. You can vote. Oh, hell. Come over here. Come on here, Kevin. Come over here. Kevin is my brother in the state Senate. He's my brother in the state Senate. We're running for the same position. We both running for comptroller. But listen, with ranked choice voting, if you vote for both of us, the community doesn't lose. That's right. I want you to vote for me now. But if you like Kevin, just vote for me number 2. It's all good. It's all good. Hey, spread love. It's the Brooklyn way. Come on now. Spread love. It's the Brooklyn way. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, Jeff, thank you for what you're doing. Ranked choice voting. Let's get out and rank people. And let's make sure that early voting is still happening. Please vote early. And thank you, Jeff, for doing this. This is so important for our community. Thank you. Round of applause again for Brian Benjamin, everybody. Again, this election is this coming Tuesday. So also running for comptroller, I want to call up onto the stage Kevin Parker, Senator Kevin Parker. And then just a quick story on Kevin. When I resigned from my job 5 years ago, one of the first people who I sat down with was Kevin Parker. And at that time, I was still figuring out what my business model was. And Kevin said, listen, I'm going to introduce you to all of the principals in this community and in New York City so that I can contract with the schools. So then I showed Kevin my business plan, etc. And keep in mind, New York City Department of Education has a $31 billion annual operating budget. And I'm going to say that again. New York City Department of Education has a $31 billion annual operating budget, and Kevin introduced me to the principals who oversees that budget. And as a result of that introduction, I made over $150,000 through Kevin Parker's email. Nah, yo, I'm about to clap hands, you know what I'm saying? Right? So now, I'm saying that to say that Kevin is someone who invests in his community and who connects his community, and he's someone who's very serious, and he's running for New York City Comptroller that controls the finances of our community. So everyone, round of applause, everybody, for State Senator Kevin Parker, everybody.
Now, when I grew up in Cornerstone Baptist Church in Bed-Stuy, Harry S. Wright, the pastor there, taught me the 3 B's of public speaking, which is begin, be brief, and to be gone. So I'm gonna practice that tonight. So to make it short, to just jump on, first let's give a round of applause for Jeff and for bringing us together tonight with all these great candidates. This is the best political event happening this season. And so just to jump off to that, y'all make me the comptroller, you get a DOE contract, you get a DOE, no, I'm joking. I'm joking. But let's be clear. The reason why you have me and Brian running for this office is that the city of New York has the 4th largest budget in the entire country after the federal government, the state of California, the state of New York, then the city of New York. A budget that's larger than 48 states at almost $100 billion. We have a budget in the city of New York larger than Texas and Florida, which have populations larger than the state of New York. And in the 300-year history of this great state, only one black man has been the city controller, and that was Bill Thompson almost 20 years ago. So the question in this moment, Brooklyn, is what are you going to do with your money, and who do you trust to look after your funds? And let me submit to you that if you keep doing what you've been doing, you won't keep getting what you've been getting. And so I'm running for city controller because I believe I have the rare combination of experience, leadership, but most importantly, vision that this office needs at this moment to take us out of this pandemic economy that has threatened both our lives and our livelihoods. Many of you know me because I'm a Brooklyn guy. Grew up in the Bushwick Projects, went to public school my entire life, graduated from Millwood High School. I'm the only person in the race with that kind of credential. But I spent 30 years working in public service, everything from the city council to the state assembly, worked on Wall Street at Payne Webber, worked for the state controller, worked for Hillary Clinton, helping her become the U.S. Senator, and I've had the pleasure for 18 years to represent Flatbush, East Flatbush, Midwood, Dittmans Park, Windsor Terrace, and Park Slope in the state Senate. And did a few things there, been on the finance committee, the banking committee, the insurance committee, chairman of the energy and telecom committee, as well as the majority whip in the New York State Senate. And passed 90 laws. And then on Tuesday, we're going to have this important election in which everybody is going to need to come out and participate. And I agree with Brian. If you vote for us, vote for both of us in some order, the community doesn't lose. Because we're about to put some people in charge. The two other leading candidates outside of me and Brian are two members of the city council. And let's understand this. We have blacks, Latinos, Asians, and women represent 60% of the population, and they're receiving less than 20% of the contracts around women and minority business development. And in 7 years between both of them, they've passed 0 bills on MWBE.
You're just saying it.
0. Zip 0. Because they stingy with De Niro. I'm just saying. Right? And so I'm just saying, there may not be no seeing green, but if you elect one of us, you're going to start seeing green. So there's a lot going on right now in this election, and people have to really, really pay attention to where the money is moving. And so as I wrap up, let me just say this. I hope on day one to have an opportunity to develop an economic equity council, bringing together business leaders, labor leaders, community activists, and clergy members so that we can walk away forward. I know I have some of the answers, but certainly not all of the answers. We're going to have to concentrate on full-time jobs at a living wage with benefits, particularly on small businesses and entrepreneurs. Amazon is not coming to save us. Our economy has moved from Wall Street to Main Street. And so I want to collaborate with CUNY to create small business development centers at every single CUNY college. Why? So we can get access to capital, bonding, mentorship, and the kind of technical assistance that people need in order to develop their own businesses. Because we understand when you put a black woman into business, she hires other black women to share in the prosperity. That's how we bring back our city. New York is coming back. The question is whether Flatbush and East Flatbush comes back, whether Harlem comes back, whether the South Bronx and Southeast Queens and North End of Staten Island come back. Lastly, one of the most important issues, and people don't understand how much the controller has power over every single budget in the city. Me and Brian have both promised to audit the NYPD. I don't believe in defunding the police, but I certainly think that we can have an NYPD that serves and protects, but does it with dignity and respect. I have literally been the leader in the state on the issue of police reform. after the murder of George Floyd, the state of New York was the first state in the entire country to pass a comprehensive set of legislative initiatives dealing with police reform. We passed 10 bills, 4 of them were mine. The 911 false reporting law, that was mine. The bill that created a body camera program for state police, me and Latrice Walker did that. By the way, the 911 bill I did with Diana Richardson. We created an office of police misconduct in the Attorney General's office. And me and Nick Perry passed a law that reaffirmed the right to record police activity. How important was that within the context of the Derek Chauvin trial? And so since then, I've written 15 other bills, including one that deals with qualified immunity, one that defines excessive use of force in the law, one that adds teeth to the Civilian Complaint Review Board, and most importantly, a set of legislation that addresses the issue of creating a non-police response to mental health and homeless calls. Absolutely one of the things that we need to do. And so I'm not going to talk y'all to death like we got free nights and weekends, but just really want to thank you in advance for being here, for your participation. We'll see you on Tuesday, and I look forward to working with you, not just to win this election, but more importantly, to build our city back from progress to prosperity. God bless you.
Drop mic. Oh, man. Round of applause for State Senator Kevin Parker, everybody. And remember, with ranked choice voting, you can rank who your candidates are. And I'm loving the bond and the brotherhood that Kevin and Brian has. And it's really important that we have representation as it comes to our finances. And we want to call on our last speakers. And this is very important because there's so much misinformation when it comes to this office. But even before I go to that, there are so many candidates running for New York City Council. So we got Crystal Hudson right there. Shout out to Crystal Hudson. We also have Kenya and Josh Pierre and Edwin Raymond and Rita Joseph and so many other amazing candidates. And with ranked choice voting, you can certainly rank what your priorities are. Now with this, who I'm about to pass the mic to is 2 women, and they are running for surrogate court judge and civil court judge. And the power that the surrogate courts have, especially when it comes to wealth transfers. So many people in our community lose our money in surrogate court. So now we have Judge Dwayne Paul, who is running for Kings County Surrogate Court. And then immediately after Dwayne, we have Inga O'Neill, who's running for civil court judge. And then after that, I want everyone to just still vibe out, have a good time, mix and mingle, because we have a lot of powerful people in this room, yourself included. So let's build, let's have a good time. Make sure you follow Gentleman's Factory on Instagram. Make sure you follow Brooklyn Commons. Shout out to Joanne Pierre. And let's continue to build and let's change the world, everybody. So everyone, round of applause for Dwayne Paul, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. Good evening. What's up, Brooklyn? So I'm coming here to tell you a secret. I came out tonight to tell you a secret. I'm going to say it a 3rd time. They say you have to say things 3 times. I came out tonight to tell you a secret. And so it is not by chance that I'm speaking right behind the 2 money men, the comptrollers. It is not by design that I'm speaking behind the 2 money men, because after they help you make the money, my role is to keep you and help you save that money.
within your family. Surrogates court. And so how many people have even heard of surrogates court? Right? Not many. But we know about criminal court, right? By the age of at least 12, 11, there isn't a black young man who doesn't know about criminal court. You know about family court, you know about civil court, but we've never even heard about surrogates court. And surrogates court is a place we go when our loved ones pass away, whether they had a will or they did not. And we make sure that all of their assets get from one generation to the next. We also do guardianships of mentally disabled adults. We do guardianships of minors, and we do adoptions. And surrogates court is often the place where our community's wealth is lost. I might as well say stolen. Because the information in surrogates court is public. So you can find out who passed away, what assets they owned, and who their family members are. And you know, in our communities, first of all, we don't plan for death. We don't talk to our family members about where our important papers are. We don't write a will, life insurance. And we deal with deed theft, foreclosure, tax and water liens. And so in surrogates court, we lose our intergenerational wealth. And I will tell you that right now there is a perfect storm. A perfect storm. Because the pandemic hit. And it hit communities of color in disproportionate numbers. So who is at the doorsteps of surrogates court? Our communities. Our communities who didn't insure their wealth by doing estate planning. Our community who didn't do wills. Our communities who deal with third-party transfer and losing our wealth. It is critical that we vote in this election. It is critical that we have a judge who is from the community, who is going to put the community first and make sure that the surrogates court is working for the people and that the people are not working for surrogates court. And so I hear a lot about what's going down on Tuesday. I have another secret. The election has already started. Early voting started. And when you look at the numbers of who has turned out to vote, it's not communities of color that's turning out in numbers. We have to make it to the polls. Our ancestors' blood, sweat, and tears for the right to vote. What should be our given right to vote. And yet, every term, our right and access to the ballot is being thawed. Don't wait till Tuesday. It's going to rain on Tuesday. Get out to vote this weekend. Spread the word about how important surrogates court is. Spread the word about this big secret of surrogates court and ensure that your friends, your neighbors, your mother, your father, your enemies make it to the polls and vote for Judge Paul for surrogate. I'm going to tell you something else. They are counting us out. And let me tell you something. The judges are at the end of the ballot. There are people who go into the polls, vote for the mayor, vote for city council, and walk home. You may see a judge before you meet your city council person. You may meet your judge before you meet the mayor. And if you reach the doorsteps of the court, you're going to want someone who is from the community and understands the community. Make sure we vote. Make sure you vote all through the pages. The judges start on page 3. And not too long ago, we had a big court case. We took to the streets and we protested. This year, we exercised our right and our voice at the ballot because I am quite sure economic justice is on the ballot when it comes to surrogates court. Our families' intergenerational wealth is on the ballot when it comes to surrogate court. Don't forget the judges. Judges matter. Thank you. Paul for surrogate. Spread the word. The election has already started. It ends on Tuesday. Don't show up late.
Let's give it up again for Judge Dewini. Paul. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. Very quickly, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Vladimir Sterling, Senior Director for, thank you, Senior Director for Policy and Government Affairs at the Brooklyn Chamber of Commerce. We're an advocacy organization where we represent small businesses. If anyone needs assistance joining the Brooklyn Chamber, we offer services in providing information on the ESD grants, the PPP loans. So come to us so that we can help you get funded for your small business. Next, we will be passing it off to Inga. Please step up to the stage.
Thank you.
Don't sweat the technique.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Thank you to Jeff and to Gentleman's Factory for this opportunity to speak and to introduce myself to you this evening. My name is Inga O'Neill, and I'm running countywide for Civil Court Judge, which means that my name is going to be on the ballot everywhere in Brooklyn. I've dedicated over 18 years of my career and service to Brooklyn, working in the court system as a court attorney and now as a principal law clerk. Not many people understand what that means. And as a principal law clerk, you're the judge's legal advisor. You're responsible for doing research, writing decisions, conferencing cases, settling cases, and just ensuring that whatever's brought before the court is heard by the judge. I've also served as a volunteer small claims court arbitrator, settling cases in small claims court, and rendering binding decisions. I've worked in the Office of the Self-Represented, giving basic legal information to people who come in who cannot afford an attorney. Now, I don't get to choose the cases that I handle because I work in the courts. But what I do is make sure that for whatever reason you come to the court, that your case is heard and that everyone is given an equal opportunity. Because that one case may mean nothing to everyone else, but it's important to you. In addition to my legal experience, I've also been very involved in the community. And it's important to be involved in the community because unless you know what's happening in the community, you cannot serve the community. And in working in the courts, whether it's as a judge or as an attorney, your responsibility is to serve the people of Brooklyn. That's your responsibility. And as an attorney, what I've done is I've participated in Know Your Rights programs, warrant forgiveness programs, just so the public is educated as to what's happening legally and what their rights are. As to why I'm running for Civil Court Judge at this point, I'm part of the Metropolitan Black Bar Association on the board, and we did a program called the Judiciary Training Academy, which is meant to increase diversity on the bench for women as well as people of color, which is important because we bring a different perspective. And let's be clear, we're all aware of institutional racism. It's a big problem, and it's recognized by the courts. And not everyone who works in the courts is bad. We work hard, but institutional racism does exist, and it affects our communities. If elected, my goal and my commitment and my passion is to you, the people, to ensure that for whatever reason you come to court, because people don't come to court because they want to. They come because something has happened to them, right? Whether you're the plaintiff or you're the defendant, you come because something has happened to them. And my goal is to ensure that for whatever reason you come to court, that you're treated with courtesy, compassion, and respect, and that justice is done in your case. I hope that I can earn your support and your votes. Early voting has already started, and the election, as Judge Paul said, is not on Tuesday. It's happening right now. Your voice is important. Make sure that you go out there and vote. because it's important. You can't do it every 4 years. It's important to do it now. So thank you again for this opportunity to speak.
I guess now back to the music.
Shout out to all of the candidates that came by today. Special shout out to Samuel M. Pierre, who is really the brains behind the operation. If folks can see the text messages between me and Sam putting this together, that would be a movie in itself. So Sam Pierre was the brains behind this operation. Shout out to my brother Sam. Oh man. And shout out to Shot by Jason. Because when you see the pictures that are gonna be coming out, you know that it was Jason Thomas, Gentleman's Factory member Jason Thomas, who put all of these pictures together. Jason is a legend on the camera. Right? So shout out to Jason Thomas, everybody. So vibe out, grab a drink. It's Friday night. Let's have a good time. Tristan, I see you, baby.
A little something, something with you, oh baby, so we can keep a little something, something. But something, since the river, something, something, something. Flavor with a cocoa, pineapple, baby. Act like you know, if it's cool, baby. I wanna ride, she came with you, baby. Oh, yeah, only if it's cool, baby. A little something, a little something, something, yeah. Oh, baby, keep a little something, something, yeah, yeah. Oh, baby. Only if it's cool. We can do a little something, a little something, something, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, baby, a little something, something. Whoa, if it's cool, baby, we can do a little, hey, hey, a little something, something. So we can keep our head okay. doing everything that we want to. Meanwhile, are we losing? Because we won't let go. And let's start thinking what we're doing. Don't let nothing change your mind. Let's start heading homeward bound. Get off the ground, stop losing. Yeah. Keep rising to the top. Keep on believing all the dreams inside of you, and don't stop achieving, yeah. Let some love shine on through, and don't fight the feeling, just keep on feeling. Everybody keep on moving, 'cause I know we can get it over, so baby, give it all you got. Let's keep rising to the top. Give it all you got. And we won't let nobody stop us. Give it all you got. Just keep trying, yeah. Give it all you got. Oh, baby. Give it all you got. I want you to give it all you got. Give it all you got. You got to time illusions create a lot of confusion, but the time has finally come. Let's get it done. Keep moving, yeah, moving. Let's keep rising to the top, and don't let nobody stop. Just keep trying, yeah. Keep on giving to the child. Give it all you got. Stress and love a little more. Give it all you got. Keep on giving all you got. Give it all you got. We're rising to the top. We won't let nobody stop. Let's do it, yeah. Give it all you got. From somebody. Give it all you got. Feelings getting strong. Give it all you got. What will you do?
Check this out. I'm talking on these deaf right here. Together, I can hear some of them deaf rhymes. You know what I'm saying? It's together.
all we needed was where so glad take me dying with you. Give me some of that